Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Celebrate Southern Africa. My name is Dawn Denton, and this evening I'm speaking to the most lovely and so interesting and inspiring. You should go and have a look at her website, which we'll tell you about afterwards. But Taryn Jacoby. And I am so thrilled because I have looked at your website and I see the most amazing stuff you're doing. And I think your work is something that really inspires people because you deal with the whole person, don't you? So tell us a bit about your business and what it is that you do.
Well, firstly, thank you so much for having me here.
Pleasure.
And so like you said, I like to work with my clients as a whole. So I'll work with them on a number of different levels, such as physical, emotional, mental, subconscious, and energetic. And the name of my company, Connected Therapies, is about connecting, a lot of different therapies and transformational techniques that I've learned over the many years, but also learning to connect to yourself on a much deeper level. So the core of the work that I do at the moment is transformational coaching, which has enabled me to bring together all those modalities, such as, the things I studied were yoga, essential oils, Reiki, rapid transformational therapy, even therapeutic essential oils at one point. So the work is about, I'm able to support my clients on not only doing the inner work, but also taking inspired action as well. So I think the combination of those two is really powerful.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And also, I think one of the things, you're talking about energy, and I think energy is something that has an effect on us in so many different ways, because when you lose your energy, you lose your desire to do anything. You lose your goals seem to become more blurry. Everything is wrapped up in our energy, isn't it?
Yeah, massively. And so I do a podcast as well, and with a friend who's also she's a metabolic coach and nutritionist, and we were talking about balance on our most previous podcast. And finding balance and creating that balance in your life is so important, because especially in this kind of line of work where you are expected to fully show up, for your clients and as well as yourselves, when even as an entrepreneur, you have to show up for yourself every day. And when your energy is not in the right place, then you can't really expect yourself to be productive, to show up for yourself fully, and to achieve the things that you want to achieve. So yeah, it's really important.
So when we talk about energy, it's not just necessarily about eating well and getting sleep and all of that. There's a whole host of other things that we have to consider when it comes to energy. What kinds of things would you tell people to focus on, especially now when we're feeling a bit flat?
Yeah, we go into this in a lot more depth in the podcast, but finding things that work for you as well. But we also talked about mixing up your routine a little bit, and meditation, yoga, physical exercise, making space for connecting. And I'm lucky and you're lucky because we get to connect with people all day in this kind of line of work. But, if you're not in this kind of line of work, then it's so important to make that time to be connecting with your family, friends, other people as well, and looking after your mental health, your emotional health, and your physical health as well.
Yeah, and going for the odd walk and taking the dog out or whatever it is, doing some gardening, even if it's pouring with rain.
Yeah, completely. I mean, a change of scenery is, can do you the world of good as well. And I was lucky enough to get away in December a little bit. I know, but I kind of said to myself that when I get back, I'm gonna have a change of scenery. So instead of just sitting at my desk all the time, maybe one day I'll go work in the kitchen, or maybe one day I'll go work in the lounge, because otherwise you get stuck in that same energy, in that kind of stagnant energy. But if you can move around and be a bit more flexible with that, then you can shift it.
That's around. A really good point, because I find I sit in the same place all the time, and then it kind of it like puts a dampener on my creativity. And even though I think, well, I've created stuff here at this laptop in this space before, why is it just not coming to me? And that's a really good point about the energy in a different part of the house.
No, it's really helpful. But there's so many things you can do. It's just about finding the right things that work for you, and things that you're able to fit into your schedule as well.
Yeah. In times like this, people are feeling very anxious and very fearful and stressed, and they don't know what the future holds. They don't know what tomorrow brings. At what point do people then turn to you for, because it's difficult to accept sometimes that you might need some additional help.
Yeah.
And it's not great for friends and family to go, I think you need to get in touch with Taryn. So at what point do you say to people, if you're feeling this or you're experiencing this in your life, this is when you really need some intervention from outside of your own space?
Yeah, well, honestly, like, you know, I believe that everybody can benefit from some kind of support, and, you know, just having that support there, no matter what that looks like, can be really beneficial, no matter what you're going through.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody I speak to lately is suffering from some form of anxiety. So you're completely like spot on. And so a lot of the people I'm working with at the moment is helping them to get to the core of that anxiety, understand where it's coming from, and then, you know, helping them take the driver's seat again. So not letting that anxiety or that fear or that block rule their life. So I think, yeah, it's important to get support, even if you're struggling with a little bit of anxiety, because if you don't kind of work through whatever's coming up for you, and it's difficult to know how to do that on your own without the support, then, you know, that might, you know, just create even more resistance in your life and make life even harder for you to do the things that you want to do or achieve the things that you want to achieve. So,
and then generally the stuff that you didn't have a problem with before suddenly become difficult. That must be another indicator that suddenly something that was so easy for you to do is now a drag, or you ignoring it. You're not even doing it. And also things that you love. You know, maybe sometimes you've fallen out of love of something that you've always done.
Yeah, so it's a form of self-sabotage, really. And that's why it's so important to get to the root cause of that anxiety, because the anxiety is just a physical symptom. But once you can get to the root cause, then, you know, the underlying deeper issues are fear of rejection, feeling of not feeling good enough, fear of failure, fear of success, you know, are the kind of common ones that come up. And then when you can find the tools and techniques to work through those deeper issues, that's when you really experience freedom. And that's when you start letting go of that resistance, and you're able to move, I call it, well, it's called inspired or aligned action. So, you know,
oh, that sounds interesting. I like that. It already makes me inspired.
Yeah, so you can take normal action, but if you're taking action from a place of resistance, it's really difficult. It's like going upstream instead of downstream, you know, and you might find that you're never really getting anywhere. You might find that you're starting to self-sabotage and you procrastinate, or, you know, just feel stuck. But if you are coming from a place of inspiration, then it's so much easier to do the things that you want to do, and you enjoy doing them as well. It's something that you look forward to, and you don't find yourself getting stuck so much.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I find also that there's something about us chasing happiness and success, you know, and we all have a different definition of happiness. But and obviously, I don't think it's anything we'll ever reach. Like, it's, you know, we're always striving for it, but it's never going to be an end goal. It's going to be a journey our whole of our lives. But what would be your definition of happiness?
Yeah, so I believe that our happiness is completely separate to anything external from us. So it's separate to anyone around us. It's separate from anything that we do. And it's about, you know, connecting with yourself on a deeper level so that you can access that happiness whenever you want, no matter what is going on in your life, no matter what challenges you're being faced with. And you are able to detach from things a lot easier. And to me, that's what, you know, true ultimate happiness is.
So that's the kind of goal that we should be going for. That's something that is always there, that we can tap back into.
Yeah, exactly. And you can look at that with, you know, other things as well, like success, and it's being able to feel successful or to feel loved, and to not have to rely on other people or other things to make you feel successful or to make you feel loved. And this is, you know, the kind of core of the work I do, and has been, you know, the work that I've gone through myself, and that has really transformed my life. So yeah, very passionate.
Bringing it all together. I love how you bring it all together, that all of your therapies and all of your training, because that's one thing I think I've noticed, really, even just going to see a doctor in the UK, you know, in South Africa, the doctors tended to look at us as a whole, you know. You could tell him or her that you know, this hurts, but I think that might be related and this might be, and we were dealt with as a whole. And I found sometimes here, because of circumstances and timing and whatever, you know, you go to the doctor and it's like, you know, if you've got a rash, you've got to come and book another appointment. Like, you can't come and see me you know, in the same appointment with different stuff. But often, I'm sure in your work, you find the impact that the subconscious will have on the energy level, which will have on the physical and the mental and all of those things. And that's how you've woven them in.
Oh yeah, massively. I mean, you know, just thinking about how your thoughts affect the way that you feel, and how the way you feel affects your actions, and how your actions affect your whole life. And yeah, so if you can get to the kind of root of it, then it's all connected, it's all tied together. And so, yeah, carry on.
So what in 2020 did you learn about yourself?
So for me, my biggest lessons in 2020 were balance, because I have, you know, I love my work so much that I have a tendency to just want to do it all the time. But so it was really important for me to, you know, and you know, it's something that I teach as well. So it was really important to remind myself to look after my own balance and create balance in my own life, you know, and lead by example. But yeah, that was a big one for me. I think the other thing was, you know, creating boundaries with my clients was a big thing that came up for me as well, because I'm an overgiver and I give my clients so much value, and sometimes, you know, I can go a bit overboard. But so it was really important for me to start creating some boundaries with that as well.
Which is also good for the balance, but also then it also looks after yourself. And you don't, because you only have a cup that's so full, you know, and your cup can run empty, and then you can't give what you want to give to your clients as well. So it makes it really difficult when we don't look after ourselves. And I know I know we want to do it. We all want to do it. It's just so difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And it's a priority. Self-care is a priority, especially when you're in the line of work of helping other people. You can't really fully look after other people until you've looked after yourself. So yeah, very important.
So what do you want to leave behind in 2020?
So what do I want to leave behind? Just stress, I think, you know, when you get caught in that pattern of overworking, even though I love my job, naturally you end up becoming a bit stressed. And you know, I think I've managed to work through stress and anxiety massively, and when it comes up, I can move through it a lot quicker than I used to, because I have the tools and the techniques to help me do that. But yeah, to not experience stress at all would be amazing. I don't know
Yeah, that would be
possible.
great. I'd like to leave that all in 2020. Don't ever come back into my life again. I'm taking my future with stress-free. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Maybe it's a unicorn, I don't know.
So I've always been interested in aromatherapy and how that the impact that has on people. I know a lot of people don't know what aromatherapy is. Could you just give us an overview of what it is?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm super passionate about essential oils because they've really transformed my life, and I believe in, you know, natural healing as well. And I work with therapeutic grade essential oils, and it's not the kind of main work that I do now, but I love to gift my clients, you know, essential oils that are going to support them on their journey, whether that's mental, emotional, or physical. And you have to use essential oils that are very high grade, pure essential oils in order to reap those therapeutic benefits. But just as an example, I mean, aromatherapy and essential oils, it's very involved. But just to give you a kind of bit of an understanding of how it can work, on an emotional level, if you inhale an essential oil, it travels through your nasal cavity and into the limbic part of your brain, which is the part of your brain that controls your emotions. And then once it reaches that part of your brain, it releases neurochemicals that can change the way that you feel. So it can have like a sedative or an energizing or a relaxing effect. So on an emotional level, it's a really powerful tool that you could use to help you ground yourself, to help you sleep better, to help you reduce stress and anxiety. It's very supportive in that sense.
Wow, I love it. I mean, I got a little sample of a wild orange, and I think that's for stress or something. Oh my goodness me, it changed everything. I sat at my desk and I was like, I can just conquer the world. I've just smelt oranges.
Yeah, and I love
Maybe
wild
I'm
orange.
desperate for African fruit. I don't know. In the
No,
cold.
but yeah, I mean, wild orange, all the citrus oils are very energizing, very uplifting. So if you whack that, like a couple of drops of that wild orange with some peppermint, it's will have an even more invigorating effect, because peppermint also increases your focus as well.
That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. So you run workshops and you work with people one-on-one. And I know they all have their benefits, but what is the biggest benefit of going into a workshop scenario for your clients as well as for you?
So I love working in a group setting, because from my own experience, you are able to get even more transformation by, the support of others, as well as learning from others as well. But also, just hearing from other people about, their own journeys and their own fears and their own blocks. It comforts you in knowing that you're not the only one experiencing those things. So yeah, I love running workshops, and I also do like group programs as well. I'm launching one on the 26th of January, and I like to keep them small so that I can really kind of focus my energy on those clients. But yeah, I think group settings are amazing for transformation.
I mean, some people, I suppose, are a little bit nervous about sharing of themselves if they go into a workshop. What would you tell people who are feeling that little bit kind of, I don't know, it's a bunch of strangers and I don't know how comfortable I'll feel?
Yeah, and it's completely normal. Everyone I speak to experiences that same thing. But I think, all this work is going to be scary because it's out of our comfort zones.
Yeah.
So whatever you do, whether you are going to be joining a group coaching program, or whether you are going to be starting a new business, or whatever you do in life that's new and out of your comfort zone, it's going to bring up all your fears and doubts. And that's the stuff that I help you work through, so that you can learn to take action, and, like I said before, take the driver's seat without letting those fears and doubts lead the way. But
yeah, and control you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But
So I also have often wondered, there are people who go, well, I kind of got my life sorted. I've kind of, I got the car and I got the house and I got the dog and and I'm now just ticking over. So I'm an achiever. I might not be a high achiever, but why would I need to go to the next level if I'm okay with stuff?
yeah, and I mean, coaching is not for everybody. So if you're happy where you are, then that's completely fine. And actually, I only work with people that are really committed to change, because if they're not committed to doing the inner work and taking the action, then I'm not going to be successful in my job. I'm not going to be able to succeed in getting you to where you want to be, and it's not going to be great for either of us. So you need to have that willingness to achieve the things that you want to achieve, to change your life, and to go for your dreams. But you also need to be committed to doing the work as well.
And I think sometimes maybe when we do get into the rut of our lives, we do forget about our dreams and our goals. They kind of go to the back seat, especially if you've got family or you've got a very high demanding job. And it's reassessing what we want, isn't it? It's about finding what we need and what we want again.
Yeah, exactly. And I speak to so many people that actually they don't know what they want, because a lot of the time we have these limiting beliefs like, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough skills, I don't have enough money to do the things that I want to do. But all those kind of limiting beliefs and those stories that we create can sometimes often cloud what it is we really want, what we want to achieve, and what we want for our lives. And so by getting to the deeper issue, like the fear of rejection or the feelings of not feeling good enough, you can start clearing that away, and then you have more clarity to start figuring out what are your passions, what is your deeper why, what does your vision look like, what do you want for your life.
Especially when you've forgotten who you are, because you've taken on the role of what's expected of you in life, and you've kind of gone, well, that's not important anymore, and I need to now just focus on A, B, or C, and going back to what it is that we really want to, who we want to be and how we want to show up in the world.
Yeah, exactly. And so many people are, putting other people before themselves as well. Like you said, like maybe they've been doing that their whole lives and they don't know who they are. And it's really scary to start that journey to discover, like, okay, who am I? Like, what do I want for my life? But when you start on that journey, oh my God, it's so worth it. Like, it's, you know.
And it opens you up to, oh, this is who I am. Sure. I didn't even know I was this amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
So you've been involved in therapies, lots of therapies for a long time. And I think your journey is taking you somewhere exciting. What are your hopes and dreams for you, for Taryn?
So, yeah, I mean, my deeper why is just to, you know, inspire people to live more fulfilling lives. And, you know, in order for me to do that, like, I have to obviously look after myself as well. And I want to just go live on the beach somewhere. And, you know, like, the more inspired I feel, the more inspired I can make other people feel. So inspire me, universe.
But the sun is like its own essential oil. My goodness me, you just get sun on you and you can change the world.
I know, I'm a bit of a sun baby. I do love the sun. Well, I'm from Durban, so.
Well, you are a Durban girl. I was just going to say, you're from Durban, so of course you love the sun.
Yeah.
And you never get cold in Durban. I think the coldest you get is in the evenings. You might have to put a jersey on in winter, but that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I've still not really adjusted to this cold weather in the UK.
I think it's in our DNA. I don't think it'll ever change. I think we'll always be cold-toed, and my feet are always cold. Aren't your feet always cold?
And my hands, always. I warm them up, and my husband, he hates it.
Do the same, but I don't want him to do it on me either. Like, don't you dare put your cold feet near me.
No, it can only work one way.
It's all about me. I'm finding myself. This is my goal in life, is to be warm.
I need the self-care.
This is about self-care, not drama and stress. So tell me about this workshop that's happening at the end of the month.
Yeah, so it's a 3-month program. It's called the 21 Empowerment Program. And it's basically designed to help you get really clear on what your goals and your vision is, while helping you work through any fears and doubts and blocks that are coming up for you that might be stopping you from taking action towards that. So whether that's in, you know, your business, your relationship, or even just your personal development. And we'll be going through things like moving through money blocks, overcoming self-sabotage, overcoming self-doubt, taking inspired action, and lots more. I'm giving away like a 7-day self-care challenge, and also a half-day wellness retreat as well. But yeah, I'm really excited.
That sounds great fun. And how big is the workshop?
So I'm not taking on more than 10 people, and I've got 4 people confirmed, 3 verbal holds, and a few spaces left. So yeah.
So if anyone wants it, go and grab it. So where can people find out more about you?
So if anybody's interested in the workshop, or even just want to find out more, have a chat, they can go to my Facebook and Instagram, send me a DM. I'm happy to jump on a call with you and see how I can support you, or even just email me on taryn@connectedtherapies.co.uk.
Fantastic. So where are you now? You're in Surrey, aren't you?
Yes, in Cheam in Surrey.
Surrey, what a lovely part of the world. And all the Sappers live in Surrey.
Yeah, they are. Well, yeah, a lot more now. People kind of started moving down from Wimbledon,
Southfields, Sapphirefields. I know. I remember speaking to a cab driver, and he said to me, "There's not one day that goes by that I don't have South Africans in my cab."
Yeah.
And I remember saying, because that was when I first moved over, I thought, "Jeepers creepers, the South Africans all have money for cabs. They must be doing well."
Hilarious.
But I was living north of the river, and once you go south of the river, you don't want to go back north again. It's such a nice part of the world, isn't it?
I've only ever been south, but no, I'd like to come more your side just for a change of scenery.
Yeah, no, come and visit us in Somerset. We'd love to have you. Come and have apples and cider and cheese, because cheddar's down the road.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's my favorite part of the country. I love it.
Oh, fantastic. Taryn, if you've got one message for everybody, one actionable step that everyone can take that will help them feel amazingly different, what would it be?
Oh, it's so hard. One action, I would say, obviously, you know, it's a difficult time that we're going through at the moment, and everybody's got their own challenges. Just look after yourselves, do the inner work, get the support. The inner work is, you know, it's not easy sometimes, but it's so worth it. So that would be probably my one thing to focus on. And
the most important, I think. It's so lovely to chat and finally connect. And I wish you the best of luck. And please come back and tell us how you're getting on. And if anybody else wants to connect with Taryn, please do. All the details will be with this video. And yeah, thank you again for joining us. It's been lovely.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been lovely chatting to you too. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.